What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Sideswipe the Boss, back at it again with another tier list. And welcome to 2021. We finally made it to another year, a new year for advancements or opportunities for advancement, new year for change, new year for hopefully excitement. And I am ready to get started with you guys. So I decided to start the year, kind of simple, with just a tier list, but a tier list with the Mandalorian characters. So I know the Mandalorian has only had 2 seasons so far, so it's not going to be full of just main characters. So it's just going to be like a characters overall that were at least somewhat important to a storyline in either the episode or an entire season or something like that. So without further ado, let's just get into it. And before we get started, just want to let y'all know that if you do enjoy this video, just hit that like button for me. It takes 2 seconds. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. We are still on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so every little piece of support helps. And I do apologize beforehand because I really don't remember every single character's name. So I'm going to probably just give descriptions of like the characters' names that I don't remember. But to start off, we got one I do know, the main man himself, the homie, the cute child, Baby Yoda. Grogu, but Baby Yoda will forever be his name in my heart. And you already know he's going in the S tier. This is basically his show. Like, it's not even the Mandalorian anymore. It's called Baby Yoda / Grogu / the Child. He should get his own spinoff. Baby Yoda / Grogu / the Child, coming out fall 2021. Next up, we got IG-11. He was like the droid in season 1 who was the assassin droid who was supposed to take Grogu, I guess I'll say the real name, Grogu, out in episode 1, but then Mando took him out, but then Quill reprogrammed him to kind of be like the child's protector. Maybe I'll just say the child. I don't know. I'll probably say different names for Baby Yoda. See, I'm saying it again. I'll probably say his different names throughout the episode, so just bear with me. But IG-11 was pretty cool, voiced by Mr. Taika Waititi himself, so that was cool. And he did have some pretty cool fight scenes, and it was a little emotional when he blew himself up to save everybody. So he's gonna go in the B tier for me. Next up, we got Dr. Pershing, and he was like that doctor, I think it was like a clone. He was a clone engineer, I think he was, who was working for like the Empire, and he was alright. He did kind of care more about the child's safety because he was always against actually killing it. So he's gonna go in the C tier for me. He was an alright character. Next up, we got Miss Ahsoka Tano, and oh my lord, that episode she was in was, I almost cried. That was so awesome when she appeared. She was awesome in her appearance in The Mandalorian. And she's getting her own spin-off show now just because of that moment. So I'm really excited for that. But she's just going to go in the A tier just because I was really hoping that she did appear in the finale. But we got someone else. So I'm kind of glad about that. But still, she was just awesome. A for awesome. And the A tier for Ahsoka Tano. Next up, we have Boba Fett, and I'm only counting his time in The Mandalorian, and holy moly, wow. The Mandalorian made Boba Fett the awesome person that we thought he was back in like the original trilogy, where he was just like there, he had a cool backstory, but we never actually got to see what made him cool to that point. But boy, oh boy, we got it in The Mandalorian, and that was just great. And he's also getting his own spinoff too in 2021, so I cannot wait for that. He's definitely going in the S tier. Sorry, Baby Yoda, you gotta go down a bit. I'm pretty sure this S tier might be stacked because The Mandalorian is just a great show overall. Next up, we have Cobb Vanth, and he was like the marshal, I think, of that town on Tatooine in the first episode of season 2. He had Boba Fett's armor for a bit. And he was a cool character, you know, he had some funny moments. He was a cool, like, protector of the town and stuff. So he's gonna go in the B tier. Next up, we have Frog Lady. And Frog Lady, I don't know, she was a little curious for sure. She did some curious things, like she was all about the eggs and stuff, but then she wants to go drag them from like a cold like atmosphere, a cold planet, drag it through a cold planet to a hot tub. Like, I mean, I get you want to warm your eggs, but that's not the ideal situation. It's not the best choice to make right now. And I think she appeared for like a few minutes in episode 3 too. But she's just gonna go in the D tier for me. Was not a big fan of Frog Lady. Next up, we have R2-D2, and even though he only showed up in like the last minute of the finale, he's going in the S tier for sure. The moment between R2 and Baby Yoda was insane. The moment we never thought we would see, but now I'm glad we have it for sure. And you know R2's my boy, so S tier for sure. Next up, we have Fennec Shan, and she was cool, not even gonna lie. I was hoping that she did come back, because she kind of had a bogus fate a little bit in season 1. She only appeared for like 10 minutes of the episode, then she was supposedly killed off, but I'm glad they brought her back for the last couple episodes of season 2. Got to show off more action, even though it was against pointless stormtroopers. It was still awesome to see her nonetheless. And she will also appear alongside Boba Fett in his spin-off show, so I can't wait to see her again. She's gonna go at the top of the B tier. Next up, we have Bo-Katan, and Bo-Katan was awesome in season 2 for sure. You know, she was introduced in the Clone Wars, and she was in Rebels too, but finally, you know, bringing her into live action was just awesome. With the accuracy of the suit, you know, Katie Sackhoff actually playing her was awesome. She had some great fight scenes and a great like storyline too. It was just awesome to see her in The Mandalorian for sure. And I think she's gonna come back in season 3, at least in the way how season 2 left off. So she's gonna go in the A tier, but below Ahsoka. Next up, we have the main man himself, the namesake of the show, the Mandalorian, aka Din Djarin, aka my boy Pedro Pascal. And he's going at the top of the S tier for sure. Like, come on now, why wouldn't he be at the top of the S tier? He's the main character. He has great storylines, great fight scenes, especially when he like finally gets to take off his mask. You actually get to see that emotion and stuff that you rarely see when he's majorly under the mask. So it's just awesome. He's an awesome character. Can't wait to see more of him in the future. Next up, we have that bounty hunter from episode 5 of season 1. I forgot what his name was, but he was alright. He wasn't really the best character, and it was kind of weird when he just all of a sudden turned. He's very gullible, you know, newbie rookie, doesn't know how to do much. So he's just gonna go at the top of the D tier for me. Not one of my favorite characters. Next up, we got like that devilish looking Satan looking character from episode 6. Forgot his name, and he was alright. He was kind of funny, and you know, he's just like the brute of the group, even though he only did appear in like one episode and got taken out by Mando very easily. So he's gonna go at the bottom of the C tier for me. Next up, we have Mayfeld, and he was actually a pretty good character. He had just appeared in like season 1, episode 6, and he was alright then, but in this past season, I think it was season 2, episode 7, where he showed up again, he definitely earned his place in the show for real. He had some pretty cool scenes. He gave like some pretty cool advice to Mando. He had a pretty awesome scene where he like blew up that base. Well, he didn't blow up the whole base, but he like blew up like all the Rhydonium on that base. That was awesome. And yeah, he definitely earned his place as a great character in the Mandalorian cast for sure. So he's gonna go in the B tier, but just above IG-11. Next up, we have like that Admiral from that episode 2, season 2, episode 7. And, he only had one scene, but he was, oh my goodness, that speech he gave was just chilling. Whoever that actor was, I don't know his name, but he gave me chills when he was talking. Like, he was like, oh, hail the Empire and stuff like that. I was like, oh my goodness, he was great. I'm sad he died so early, but he was great nonetheless. So he's gonna go at the bottom of the B tier for me, just because he was so chilling. Next up, we have Queel, and Queel was an alright character for sure. I'm sad he didn't last longer than the 2 or 3 episodes that he was in. He was cool, He was definitely a good engineer. He's the one who reprogrammed IG-11, so that was pretty cool. And he was just an alright character to me. So he's gonna go at the top of the C tier. Next up, we got this guy. I forgot his name, but he was in episode 5. He was alongside that lady who had that town in prison or something. And I mean, he was an alright character. Other than just a few funny lines, he didn't really do much. So he's gonna go at the bottom of the C tier for me. Next up, we got the Client. That's all his character is really credited for, just being the Client. And he's a very threatening character. Just the way he talks is chilling, just like that other guy in the B tier. But he appeared in more episodes, and I just really like his performance. So he's gonna go. I'll put him below Mayfield in the B tier. Next up, we have that lady who was enslaved in the town and who fought Ahsoka with that Beskar steel staff, and she was all right. She had that cool fight scene, like I said, so that was good. But that's all she really did. And provide the connection that Ahsoka was looking for, because apparently this lady's master is Grand Admiral Thrawn, and whoever has watched Rebels knows who I'm talking about, and know-wise that's awesome. So she's gonna go at the top of the C tier just for providing that cool connection. Next up, we got Cara Dune. And Cara Dune is awesome. She be having some of the funniest fight scenes, but it's still great nonetheless. She's very threatening, and she also got a little sad storyline with her, because she grew up on Alderaan, and you know what happened to Alderaan. It blew up. And we got more hint of that in that finale where that Imperial officer was taunting her about Alderaan. So I can't wait to see more of that story fleshed out and see why Alderaan is more important than it seemed. So she's also going to go in the A tier, but below Bo-Katan. She's still awesome nonetheless. Next up, we got Cosco Reeves, one of the three. And she was a pretty cool character. I didn't expect her to show back up in the finale, but she was cool, played by WWE fighter Sasha Banks. So she has some great fight scenes. And I mean, she didn't really do much talking, but like I said, her fist did the talking for her, and she was still a cool character nonetheless. So she's gonna go at the bottom of the B tier. Next up, we got Greef Karga, and he was a pretty cool character for when he showed up. He showed up a few times in season 1, and was kind of important to the story. Then he showed up only once in season 2. I kind of wish he showed up more in season 2, but it was still cool seeing him nonetheless. So he's gonna go. I'll put him just above the Client in the B tier. Next up, we got Pelimoto. I think that's what her name is. She was the person in the hangar who fixed Mando's ship. She was an alright character, providing some funny lines as well. So she's gonna go just below Queel in the C tier. Next up, we got Mythral. I think that's what his name is, Mythral, and he was the guy who Mando froze in the very first episode. Then he appeared again in season 2, episode 4, I believe, with Cara and Greef. and he was all right. He was all right. He had some funny lines for sure. He didn't really do too much except just tag along with the group, but he was still an all right character nonetheless. So he's gonna go below Peli Motto or Moto in the C tier. Next up, we have Quinn. I think that's what his name was. That Twi'lek. I think that's what they are in episode 6. What was the point of his character? Just showing up to be saved. Then he get blown up too. Not really sure what happened to his character, but he's gonna go at the bottom of the D tier. I just didn't understand why. Next up, we have that guy who commissioned the group, I think, in episode 6. The benefactor, whatever it was, something like that. I also don't get the point of his character. He just showed up, kind of gave a little history with him and Mando, but that was it. Didn't he also get blown up too? I'm not really sure. So he's also going to go at the bottom of the D tier. I didn't understand. Next up, we have Moff Gideon. And what a threatening villain. For only appearing a few times a season, he's a very threatening villain. He's awesome. He was cool flying that ship in the season 1 finale. And he had a pretty cool fight scene with Mando in the season 2 finale with that Darksaber and the Beskar staff. That was a pretty cool fight scene. And he's just a threatening villain overall. I really like his character. So he's going to go at the bottom. Actually, I'm going to put him just below Ahsoka in the A tier. Next up, we got the Armorer. And she's like that Mandalorian blacksmith, I guess, in that little cavern in season 1. She only appeared a few times in season 1. I kind of missed her in season 2. I was hoping we just get an explanation of what happened to her. But she was cool nonetheless, and she did have that cool fight scene in the season 1 finale. So she's going to go also at the bottom of the B tier. Next up, we have Luke Skywalker. And oh my goodness, it was so awesome seeing him back, just slicing and dicing them dark troopers until he took off his cape. Look, I would put him in the S tier, but I can't get past the deep fake Star Wars Battlefront 2 face that they put on him. It was alright, but I feel like they're gonna fix it, but I couldn't get past that. So he's gonna go in the A tier just because of that awesome scene he had. But I can't get past the face. So he's gonna go at the bottom of the A tier. Next up, we have Zero. He was that droid, a part of the episode 6 of season 1 crew. And he was alright. He had some pretty cool lines. But that's really all he did. He didn't really do any fighting, really. So he's just gonna go at the bottom of the C tier for me. And finally, we have the lady Twi'lek. I think that's what she is, a Twi'lek or Twi'lek, one of the two, in episode 6. And she was alright. Nothing really special about her, really. So she's gonna go at the top of the D tier for me. So that's the tier list, folks. Nobody in the F tier. In the D tier, we have the Twi'lek or Twi'lek lady, that bounty hunter from season 1 episode 5, frog lady, the Twi'lek dude, and the other dude from episode 6 of season 1. In the C tier, we have that lady from season 2 episode 5, Queel, Peli Motto, Mithra, Dr. Pershing, the little devil looking character from episode 6 of season 1, the guy with the lady from season 2 episode 5, and Zero. In the B tier, we have Fennec Shan, Mayfeld, Grief Karga, the Client, IG-11, Cobb Vanth, that Admiral from season 2 episode 7, Costco Reeves, and the Armorer. In the A tier, we have Ahsoka Tano, Moff Gideon, Bo-Katan, Cara Dune, and Luke Skywalker in deep fake form. And in the S tier, we have Din Djarin, Boba Fett, the Child, and R2-D2. So that's the tier list, folks. Let me know your tier list in the comment section down below. Would you keep it the same as mine, or would you change it? Just let me know that in the comments down below. And also let me know what tier list you would like to see next. And if you did enjoy this video, just hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Once again, Happy New Year, guys. Welcome to 2021. Ready for new videos of mine, new excitement, new adventures and stuff like that. So thank you for tuning into the channel, and I hope you enjoy my new outro, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.